Ooh, you want to see a reaction, and then that will be the perfect place to buy. You're coming into this lower trend line for the third time, sorry. You're coming into this newly created trend line for the third time, and you're back testing this broken trend line for the second time. Yeah, so there's quite a large amount of kind of confluence there. We have this daily level here as well. It's a liquidity level right here, where there it is. That liquidity level is 0.042084 exactly on Bybit. So basically 4.2 cents. That's, you see that that's slightly lower than the X. There's a range there. Yeah, there's a range here. It's not just one simple dot. It's about a 2% range right down to the daily level. So I'll be interested to see if the price does get down there by Saturday, and I'll also be interested to see what kind of reaction we get from this area. The other thing to note about this area is that there is some kind of fib pool to be had, which gives us confluence in terms of fib. So if I start from this pivot all the way up to that pivot, you see it's coming to the 786. See that? From that pivot, this is the pivot that I'm using because that's where I'm counting my wave 1 from the beginning, from the 0 point, and that will come into the 786, which is just underneath the daily level as well. Okay, so there's quite a lot of confluence here for potentially a reaction, and what I would like to see, and obviously I can't make this happen, but I would like to see one, I would like to see a strong reaction, massive buy up, and then the other thing I would like to see is the price to get back above this golden pocket area. See, that's kind of acted as support a little bit, it's kind of acted as resistance, the area has, and here the price is trying to figure out what it wants to do around this area. So there's a little bit, oh god, I can't undo. Sometimes TradingView messes up. There's a little bit of an area of support and resistance. We've kind of fallen underneath it now, so technically it could be resistance, but also bear in mind that, you know, red candles get filled quite quickly. Yeah, we do go up, you know, we could go up quite far. We could go up quite far. The question is going to be how we go up. Do we impulse up, or are we still correcting? Okay, and so I've been doing this, I've got this kind of, there's different ideas of correction. Potentially we're looking at this too, some sort of triangle, falling wedge, A, B, C, D, E, and if that happens, then that could be the end of this correction, and we'd be looking to see if we can impulse out of here. That would be really important to see. If we can get an impulsive wave now, looking for 5 waves, that will be the wave 1 of this next wave, which will be the wave 3. If we can get an impressive reaction here, and we can get a wave 1 to take us all the way up to basically 9 cents, 8.5, 9 cents in one wave, it'd effectively be like this. Yeah, don't know how long it will take, probably quick. Oh, I click on undo it, it blanks out my screen. I can't do undo. Stupid TradingView. I think I'd want to see it quicker, actually, like really impulsive. I can't do undo. I think I want to see it more impulsive, like that. If you suddenly see an impulsive candle like that, what do you do? Do you buy or do you sell? What do you do? Well, you count the waves. Let's see if there's 5 waves first. And if it is, then we'll be looking for a correction, a corrective move, an ABC move, ABCs. And then a lot of people will be looking, oh, wow, look at that. That suddenly sprang out back to life. TRVL back at 9 cents. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have, and the context is this, like I'm imagining wave one, it will be 5 impulsive, 5 waves, 3 of them impulsive. So hypothetically, you'll be looking at, like, let's just, I'm just making this up. Let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, impulsive. And if you see that, we're up at 9 cents again, and we've had 5 waves, and it's been quite impulsive, and people see that. And then what are people going to be thinking? They're going to be thinking, okay, this is wave 1. Let's correct. Yeah, let's correct. And let's jump in for the wave 3. The wave 3 of 3, that is the most impulsive. That should be the most impulsive. That's what people will be thinking. And so naturally then, you know, with a little bit of technical analysis, you can probably you'll see a big take profit, lots of take profit at 9 cents, and maybe some people are trapped. And the reason why I want to go to 9 cents is because I want to untrap all the liquidity that's been trapped in this down move, and that's why it's so important to go to there. People will be untrapped, and so they'll take their profits or not, or just break even, whatever. Here people will take profits, and then we'll be looking for a correction, and the correction, some sort of ABC. It could be flat, it could be zigzag, it could be something else. And once we have a correction, then I'll be looking for the next impulsive wave that will finally take us out of this new kind of outer trend line that I've drawn. Again, I don't necessarily want to lose this area, and this would be how the impulse begins and then continues. Then if you do get an impulse, and ideally you want the correction to be kind of like pretty steep as well, ideally. Why? Because if it's steep with lots of red candles and no green candles, then when we do finally impulse, we can go up quite fast too. And then you'd want to see kind of like a wave 1, you know. I don't know how this is going to be. I'm just making this up. And I can't even tell you how this is going to be, but I do think that if this wave 3, if we have a wave 3 like now in the next month or two, starting with a reaction at this area here, potentially, I would like to see the wave 3 go up to 28, 29, 30 cents. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. And I'm going to be counting the waves. This is going to be another 5 waves. Yeah, this is going to be another 5 waves. I don't know where it will go to. Let's just say hypothetically it will take us to 17.5. That'll be a higher high on the weekly time frame. That'll be bullish because you've put in a higher high for the first time. And potentially also you're breaking out of this inverse head and shoulders. You see there's a big inverse head and shoulders forming, potentially could form in that situation. And then another correction. If you have a zigzag here, a deep correction here, maybe we get like some kind of ABCDE flat, some kind of flat correction here. Yeah. Of course the timings here are all wrong. This is just for example because I'm using the daily time frame. It's all this is just an example of the ideas. It's obviously not going to go till November to January. I'm just making that up. But if you have a 5 waves here and a flat correction, then you could potentially have another 5 waves pushing up to 30, 28, 29, 30 cents. That's kind of what I want to see. If we get that kind of price action, which is basically 5 waves, 3 impulsive, which is the wave 3 taking us to 30 cents like that, then I'll be looking for a little bit more of a flat correction. I'm not looking for such a deep correction. It's always possible. The reason why, because here it's been quite deep. It's been quite deep from here. from here to here. It'd be quite deep. This is quite a deep correction. So maybe here I'll be looking for something a little bit more, a little flatter. And that could prolong for a while. Effectively the same thing, lots of ABCs. A lot, and the range, I mean, the range, I say flat, but it could still be quite deep. While I say flat, you know, it could still come all the way down to this pivot high, or even could even still come all the way back down to 9 cents. Maybe in context it would be flat, but it would still be quite deep. And when I say flat, obviously I don't want it to be deep in the sense that I don't want it to come back to here. And technically it can't come underneath 12 cents, technically. So if we do have some sort of wave 3 now, yeah, then the next correction, which is the 4, you technically can't come underneath the top of the wave 1. The wave 1 is not 12 cents, by the way, just in case people were wondering where is the top of wave 1. The wave 1, actually, the top of wave 1 is 9 cents. Just FYI, yeah. It's the wave 1 ended here with this last push. So technically, if we do end our wave 3 at 30 cents, then you could have a correction coming all the way back down to 9 cents, from 30 cents to 9 cents. It'll feel quite deep still. It'll probably still be quite deep. Yeah, it's quite deep, isn't it? If we go up to 30, come back down to 9, it's a 50% correction. In the context of crypto, that's normal to have a 50% correction on one of these small coins. And then we need to find support. We can't lose the top of wave 1. That would be a breaking, that would break the rules, the Elliott Wave rules. According to this timing, that would come into this trend line, this bottom trend line, which we haven't touched yet for the 3rd time, which we might do soon. That would be sometime in December. Okay. And if that was to happen, then I'll be looking for a really explosive move. So let me just get rid of that. A really final explosive move, really explosive, like beyond imagination. And that would take us, again, another 5 waves. And I'll be looking for that to take us to high numbers, okay? Because in the context of this higher time frame chart, if we were to just go up to wave 30 cents in the next wave, it's pretty mediocre still, huh? It's not crazy. It's not that much. Yeah, you're talking about potentially like a 4-year chart, just breaking out and breaking out again. I think I would want to see, like, even that, when you look at these waves, it's like, this is your first wave, maybe that's your second wave. It's not a big wave, really, is it? And what I'd be looking for is a big wave. Again, 5 waves, but like a really big wave. And like a foam, like the mother of all waves, the FOMO wave. Yeah, the kind of the parabolic wave. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And if that starts at, hypothetically, if that starts at 9 cents, we couldn't come underneath 9 cents for that to happen. Then, you know, like I'd be looking for a real parabolic crazy wave, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 weeks somewhere in the highs, wherever. And that will probably be at the peak of alt season as well. Yeah, that's kind of what would be my favored price action for TRVL, for getting to higher prices, and it would work. It would work. The other thing that I'm looking at, obviously, is not so obviously, is TRVL against Bitcoin. Someone may pasted a comment in the Telegram, the price chat Telegram, that this is looking really rubbish. And I think context is really important. Like, I don't think it's looking rubbish, because when I've compared this to other tokens, yeah, like let's just look at AVA against Bitcoin. which do you prefer, this or TRVL? Well, look, Ava is struggling to get back into the value area. See that? Getting a rejection. Yeah, the rejection from the value area. Probably will get back in. I think Ava's bottoming out here, to be honest with you. And Ava also has strong resistance here at the point of control. So when you look at this and then you're comparing that to, say, TRVL against Bitcoin, I actually prefer this one. I see that we're still in the value area. The point of control is only slightly above us, so I don't think it'll be difficult to get back above it. Yeah, we had something similar to Ava, a little test up to the point of control. On Ava, the candle was red, and on TRVL, it's green. So for all intents and purposes, I think this is better, much better, like significantly better. And you know, eventually, if we can, you know, get back above this, really what you need to do with TRVL is flip the value area into support. And the other thing is that people might be thinking, okay, I want our 5 Elliott waves, I want 3 impulsive waves against USDT. Me personally, I want 5 waves against BTC. I'm not really fussed about USDT. I want to see 5 waves here. So I'm actually quite excited about beginning the journey of creating 5 Elliott waves here against BTC. It hasn't happened yet, and it surely could happen. And that's really what's going to excite me, because that's what's going to lead to an unbelievable off-the-charts parabolic move, especially when we get above the all-time high against Bitcoin. Yeah, so to go from our current value to the all-time high against Bitcoin, it's only 700% increase in value. It's not that much. If you think that against USDT, from the all-time low at 1.9 cents, we went to 12 cents. That was just over a 6x, which is like it's slightly above a 600% increase in value. We did that against USDT. If we do the same against Bitcoin, we'll be at all-time highs against Bitcoin. And the party begins. People are thinking about, when does the party begin? When do I drive my Aston Martin or Lamborghini? When can I drive my really nice future fast car, or buy a boat or something? Just make sure that if you buy a boat, you invite me. It's basically getting past the all-time high. We're in price discovery against Bitcoin. Yeah, that's really when the party begins. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. When that happens, you'll see what will happen. Because if we manage to flip the all-time high into support, then just on this kind of drop, if we have an extension, let's just do a quick extension. Just a 1 point, like if we go to the 1.618, that will be perfectly acceptable extension. 2 would be overextended, and somewhere between 1.272 and 1.414 would be the initial kind of first areas of where you could find resistance. But just simply from our current position to the 1.618, you're looking at a 3,468% increase in value against Bitcoin. Yeah, and I think that's within target if we flip the all-time high into support, and then we're in price discovery against Bitcoin. Okay, and so that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm actually really, I don't spend much time on it because there's really nothing to show, but I actually think that this is potentially more exciting. If that happens, if we see that happen, then that's going to give us, like, I would like to see 5 waves against Bitcoin. It'll just help you to stay in the USDT a little bit longer potentially. Yeah, right now, looking at the candles against Bitcoin, Again, look, really bearish, right? Really bearish. We just lost this monthly level. There was almost no test. It's unusual. You had this really bullish green candle. It's been reversed against Bitcoin. Completely reversed. The volume has been very low. You see the volume is low there. So this descent could get, you know, it's low volume. It's not high volume. It means there's no buying, but it also means the selling was minimal. It's not crazy selling. So potentially if we do decide to go up, it could go up quite fast. There's not much resistance, not in terms of volume in that respect. Let me just have a look at these candles. Yeah, look at that 6 month. This is the 12-month candle currently. So you're thinking this is bearish. You're thinking this is bearish. I'm actually thinking that we're trying to reverse now. That's what I'm thinking. It looks like we're trying to reverse, and it hasn't happened yet. And the reason why we're struggling against Bitcoin is because last year we put in quite a miserable red candle with high volume. We've gone up to the wick. We've come right back down. And now let's go up. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. Go up. Capture as much liquidity as possible. Come back down. And then, like if the 6 month, I don't know how the 6 month time frame is going to end, but this is looking quite bullish. It's unusual because people think, oh, that's really bearish. I don't think so. When you see these kind of hammers with wicks in the highs of price action, this is the inverse. Yeah, generally speaking, these are quite they can be reversed quite easily. The price can come down very easily when you see these candles form. Oh, what has happened? And so this is the correct way. I don't think this is bad. I think it just needs to play out. We just need to be patient. That's all. If you think that against Bitcoin, we're back at the same price as October, when TRVL had an all-time low, we're back at the same price. And yet right now, when you look at the USD value against TRVL, yeah, we're 3x higher than where we were in October here. 3x? No, not 3x. 2x. 2x higher. So against Bitcoin, we're at the same place back at October, yet the USD value is higher. So that kind of gives us a clue. When and eventually what happens, or what will happen, is that this will bottom out. There's quite a large amount of volume coming into this month. Look at this. Like, I don't know if you realize there's quite a lot of volume. Let's have a look at it. Just hide these. Just on Bybit this month, just this 1 month, we've had 113 million TRVL traded, 113 million. Last month we had 55 million. The month before we had 40 million. So just put that into context, guys. Yeah, just think about it logically. This candle up, we had 40 million, 41 million in volume. So 41 million in volume took us basically from 4.5 cents to 9 cents or more. And then to come back down, we put more volume, 55 million and a half, and we were only able to get back down to 5.5. And now in this month, we've put in 113 million TRVL in volume, and we've only been able to currently, in the current price action, we've only been able to come down from 5.5 cents all the way down to 4.6. So we've basically put more volume than the last 2 months, more than the last 3 months, literally. This current candle is more volume than the last 3 months. 1, 2, look, how much is it? 113. 55 plus 40, that's 95. Plus 10, that's 105. 105. So we've put more volume than the last 3 months, and we've only come down this much. Okay. What does that mean? That means the bears are struggling to push the price down. It means there's a lot of TRVL being bought right now. A lot. Yeah. This is what that means. Yeah. So generally when I say when the price comes down, the volume increased, it's bearish. What I'm seeing is the price failing to go down. Not going down, it's failing to go down. So anyway, it's just an observation. I can't predict the bottom. I think we're close. Yeah, I think we're close. And let's see what happens. Okay, we'll keep a track of it. Favor is asking me, hi, SMB 500, what's your analysis? Probably the